I'm in my 4th year of a UK PhD, so I should be completely done by the summer. And I have so much left to do. I just can't bring myself to do it. I have all day to work and don't. I stay up all night when I don't need to. I can't concentrate for very long when I do work. I just want to get this PhD over and done with. Why can't I do it? I mean, right off the bat, this sounds like burnout. Again, I'm not a clinical professional. I'm not a therapist. I've got no real say in diagnosing anyone with anything, but I can say that I've been in this boat probably, 2 times, one in my industry career and one time in graduate school. And it sucks. It doesn't feel good, right? And it comes with, just all the stress that really takes over our lives and demotivates us and doesn't give us the proper energy to recharge. And I'm not a professional again, but one of the hallmarks of burnout, as I understand it, is becoming resentful towards your job and feeling like you're just so stuck. And there are differences, again, from what I understand, between burnout and depression, clinical depression. But I mean, one of my main pieces of advice is always to try to go seek professional help if you're able to, especially if you have the means to through your university or your health plan. So please go try that. But also look into, online resources about burnout and to see if, how can you perhaps help yourself. And sometimes it's a little counterintuitive. Sometimes people say, yeah, just take some time off from your job or your work, the things that you're doing, and try to go on a little vacation or whatever. And at least from my experience, that's helpful for a little bit, but then you're just returning to the same problem, right? You're still coming back to the same thing after that week-long vacation or whatever. And then what? Then you've realized that, that week doesn't do it. Do you need more time? Or do you need to somehow work on something within yourself or work on some of the settings that you're going to help you get past that burnout? Commented here, said that they're in a pretty similar situation, and that's, my advisor needed to take a sabbatical, but they told me they would be absolutely here for me for anything that I needed up to and including exams, but I am still terrified of them. And that's a big thing. I'm terrified of them. And don't want to reach out until everything is perfect. And I think a lot of us can understand that feeling where we want to make sure everything looks good before we bring it to our boss. I might be a 4th year, but still call myself a 3rd year because it feels better. And that sounds like, some imposter syndrome in a way, right? Because obviously you've made it through your 4th year. It sounds like you've been getting stuff a little done. Maybe you're a little stuck now, but if there were issues, I would hope that your advisor, before they went on sabbatical, will let you know. But this comment right here really kind of brought me out, right? Emotionally, I just can't. I have jobs part-time that make money that I can't do either. So, they're not doing the jobs adequately that they have beyond graduate school. I go back and forth between complete rage and abject depression, which is rough to read. Isolated introvert with some mental issues on board. Everyone thinks I'm doing wonderfully, but I don't have anything to show for the past 12 months except lists of books I'm supposed to be reading and half-baked ideas that are not fully formed because I'm not reading. Writing this at 9 a.m. while I'm still in bed. So yeah, things are great. This is fine. In case you couldn't tell, that last line was sarcasm. But I really feel for this person because, again, I think a lot of us have been there at some points or another. I can think, again, of a couple of times in graduate school in my career that, this might have been me. Now, 12 months with nothing getting done. That sounds a little extreme, and I hope for this person that they can seek help for themselves, not because, not that I think they should be beholden to their graduate career necessarily, or their dissertation or whatever, but going 12 months and staying what you feel like is in the same place, or even regressing, that is a big weight on your soul, I think, and your internal motivations and understanding of how you're developing as a person, I would say into quote unquote adulthood, but really as a person who probably wants to be developing throughout their life and just getting stuck in the same place. So here's just a couple more comments that are, I think, in line and probably right. This could be a sign of burnout or depression, friend. I do this too. I picked up another entirely different graduate degree to avoid the work I should be doing. That sounds extreme. Please don't do that just to avoid the work. I hope this person enjoys the graduate degree, hopefully more than the original one, but please, oh my goodness, don't do that. Oh no. It is done this semester though, and I don't have any more excuses. Yeah, so that sounds crazy. It sounds like this person, just looking at their Lord Blackthorn's titles here, it sounds like they got an MBA. Oh boy, that is something. And Jackums also says, this is burnout. It's very normal. I'm literally in the throes of this right now and can sympathize with you and others in this thread. Best suggestion is to be kind to yourself. I agree with that. And take a day off completely off. I can agree with that if they haven't been able to. Try to jump back in with a manageable set of small to-do list type items. Just little things you can check off a list to feel some accomplishments. And that's I think really important. You need those small wins, those tiny little wins, and those snowball, right? Once you have small wins, then you can start streaks with them. You can start laddering up. If there's small wins that build up to a larger piece of the project or mission at hand, then you've progressed, right? You'd be surprised how little things can add up, and once you're on a roll, just go with it. This too shall pass. Yeah, I hope so. Just try to do a little bit each day, and if you can do a little more than the last day, great. But at a certain point, you'll realize you're just spent. That's when you take a day off, recuperate, and start small again. Repeat. Yeah. So I think the intention is really good here. I also think that at a certain point for some people, that repeat's just not going to happen, which is why it's important to hook up with a professional or a group, or get some kind of support in this, because you might find that taking a day off is good and it recuperates you for a week, and then it might get you for 3 days, and then it might just get you through the next day, and then maybe you need to start taking 2 days off in a row, and then so it can just snowball, and that's a challenge. We want to be able to create sustainable jobs when you're doing research and work and study at this level. It's a job. Don't let anyone tell you different. It is a job. And this, you're going to go back to it, and you might be still just burnt out. And what then, right? It's important to be able to craft your job into something that is fitting you, if you're able to do that. And I think, studying and getting through a PhD is actually one of those things that you can do. You have so much flexibility in general on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Again, generalities here, but this is the time to kind of step back. Definitely take a day off if you haven't yet, and be sure to focus in on what's important and how you intend to get there. build those small steps like this person says, and think to yourself, is this sustainable for me? And how can I keep it, how can I stay accountable to myself and the people such as my boss? Maybe, I hate to say this, maybe it is a time to come to your boss and say, hey, I'm having this challenge. How can you help me, help you, help us? Because many times, and I hope your PI is good, but many times our PIs are there for us, but they just need to know it. They need to know that you're struggling and you need some help. And if not going to this PI, then maybe find someone that you do trust, maybe a more senior postdoc or senior graduate student, or even another PI that you feel like you can talk to, because this is so normal. Again, I think everyone mentioned this is normal, and it happens. So best of luck to you. Please just focus on yourself and make sure that you are okay and you're getting the help that you need and have the support you need. And for any and everyone else who are interested in getting some more graduate and postdoc level content and information, feel free to visit phdinprogress.com